Just a collective energy reading for those front screen, back screen. So it's just a collective energy reading. So please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best, don't stress. So before anyone comes in, let's just clear up the energy and clear the air. Let's reburn this Palo Santo. Let's clear this energy and clear this air on 1, 2, 3. Back screen, turn it down. Right, this is just a full general collective energy reading. So please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because if you're stressing, you have to look at your practicalities of life, what you're putting out there, what people are projecting and putting towards you. You could be having to identify and recognize. We're going to do water elements, how to enhance your intuitions. So you need to know how to enhance your intuitions and what is causing this blockage and how can you embrace that flow and how to connect with those emotions. How are you enabled to be able to identify and recognize any red flags that's coming your way? Anybody's projecting feelings, thoughts, you need to be able to analyze and recognize, because those emotions make you swim through those oceans, and that's when you're no longer holding on to certain thoughts and feelings. I've just took these out of the bag, so we're just going to see. It says Jacob 23, that's when you got to get balance. That's about you being practical. Your survival instincts, when you're in that Taurus energy, it's what you value in. Money, relationships, partners, choices, free, work. Are you enabling people to grow? Are you having stress in your mind? Or are you using your intuitions about these people who's got these red flags? You could be just ignoring these people because it's like a homicide, you know, it's like a transformation. That's 12, ending karmic cycles, encompassing, looking to the mysteries of these stories. Certain people having stress and conflict. They was in a childlike spirit. Now they're looking back at the karmic cycles and certain secrets that they had hidden. Now they're having tower moments because they're in Jacob. Someone who is a rebel against the light, because you know not the way thereof, nor abide in that path thereof. So there were certain family members, friends, that was being rebellious against you, doing things in secret. They could have had aggressive energy, been impulsive, like controlling and trying to possess. That could have been like their mindset towards material and relationships, family members and friends in a childlike spirit, or because of their mindset, that's when you're like an occultist, you go to church, Jacob, that's where we are right now, 23. They were spiritually blocked, mentally blocked, emotionally blocked, because it wasn't wise the way they communicated, because you've seen these red flags from these family members as well as these friends, because you're just addressing that's complex problems or even exploring new areas. You know, when people come in with these red flags of this aggressive energy, compulsive, chatting crap. So you're just analysing, you're reflecting. Certain people trying to block you and project bad energy towards you. Like you ain't got no self-worth. Like you lack self-confidence, self-esteem. You wasn't able to be able to refine and restore yourself because that was you studying. And that's not looking at the adequacy or even satisfactory or even the acceptable parts. That's that extent, and it may be even excessive. Even looking at the superficial, even look at suitable opponents, or even well enough fear, or those divine feminines and masculines, your family members as well as friends. Even that karmic just depends on what you're wanting to be able to convey or even cover. You're understanding or even solved by those divine feminines and masculines. You're identified about the disciples, and that's just becoming, and that's climbing into information. It's multiple fields. So you're looking at different dimensions, different thoughts, feelings, aspects, where's, why's, what's, because certain people was doing certain things they didn't know what they was doing. They wasn't transforming because that was their mind, their face, what they was putting out, idolizing, watching. They did not know the light because they was compulsive. They didn't have that comprehensive understanding to certain situations or even address complex problems. They wasn't connected to the real world. They wasn't actively listening, connecting emotionally, mentally, restoring their self, because that was like transferable skills. You had those. That was where you thought, communicated effectively, problem solved. You wasn't able to go into Mercury, transform, travel, different cultures, different backgrounds, understanding Buddhism, Islamic. You was transforming and changing words, looking at it from different dimensions. You was unlocking those keys of wisdom, just enabling to help other people to be able to read, even interpret and understanding. Just like when they told you to go to the Bible, guys, and you stress and you people in a childlike spirit because I was gambling with you. Jacob 2:23, that's 2. It's about your partners. It wasn't balanced. Their mindset, they was running through extra energies for money, possessions. 3, family members, friends, the choices that they was making when they was speaking, you was communicating. They was institutionalizing their mind. They was procrastinating, hating on you while you're growing, evolving. They was on a karmic cycle. You looked at the realistic aspects, use your intuition, connect to your emotion, add compassion for yourself, said to them 2 hours in the bucket, fuck it, you made that choice. 16, give them a tower moment. Now, all of a sudden, they're getting higher awareness who you are. Because that was that righteousness. You was that teacher and just guiding the collective, your family members, those friends, the divine feminines, the masculines, even those karmic, low, dense, succubus, vampire energies with that Latvian spirits, those Jezebels who didn't know better to be able to do better, because your words of righteousness and that action, it's enabled to be able to guide them, to be able to be right, to do right. Otherwise, you see these red flags and they just pop up. And you just see it straight away because that mask falls off in front of these divine feminines and masculines when they come around and chat shit. Oh, you look nice. You're lying. You're being red-eyed. You're jealous. Why don't you say, oh, I like that. That's beautiful. No, we're not playing no game. So you have to keep moving forward because we'll be well in mind. Do well in the body. So when you're well in your mind, not got no stress, no conflict, you're well in your body, because that stress causes depress, and that's a dis-ease, and then it makes your body seize up neurological problems, your nervous system, your brain functions, your receptor, how you're thinking, acting, reacting towards people, places, situations, and things. That's why people quick flip like one button, like a switch. And that's when you see those illusions, moon, confusions, the lunatics, filling you with false promises. So you see these people who gave you these red flags, who was trying to fill you with these false promises. You seen the actions that they was taking. The Most High gave you that bubble of widening, protection, that all-knowing. You identified the energies, the partners, the putting out. You nurtured. You had compassion for yourself. You ended cycles because you had that hot girl charm. That was that warmth. It melts with that defensiveness. It was humor. It was cracks. And every wall of kindness, it stands tall. And you have got your backbone. So you're enabled to be able to grow, evolve, let go, encompass those cycles. You've seen those illusions to certain confusions. You sniffed the shit out of that graph. You transformed. You changed. You looked at yourself. You had discernment. You went to those new beginnings. You've seen the choices. You looked at that spiritual insight. That was your new beginning because you were sincere towards yourself. Now these divine feminines and masculines, they're looking back at you, lot twisting in their mind, because they're heartbroken, because you're in that heartbeat rushes. And you have to say, two-faced family members, friends, there's 3 of you in here. Two-faced 4 now, because they've got social awareness, so it's clinging on to old emotions. 56, that's because they were stuck, jealous of you, bad-minding that childlike spirit, Peter Man, Tinkerbell. Or because they smelled on the service that was doing, watching you, idolizing the way you was growing, you was transforming, enabling yourself to make those positive changes. They was behind your back, stinging you like a bee, trying to clip your wings so you couldn't spread out, and to 125 so you couldn't make those new changes. You and your partner, where you was transforming and evolving, even when you're growing in the way you're working, you're communicating. Bad mind energies watching you, sweet face, sharp blade. Their mask is going to drop because the truth, that stings. Two shadows betrayed the split. So they could see those family members and the friends who they was given to, you had these transferable skills. You seen the things from the dark, the things from the light to be able to grow. That was you connecting to your emotions, encompassing certain thoughts and feelings. That was having balance, interconnected discernment, because that was that heart rush. And it's racing, it's those signs, no logic, just pulse. You're already lit by love. So you was already lit by love. That was you enabled to hold that love within inside of yourself, speaking and standing within your truth. You seen the shadow, the light aspects of life. You deveiled those divine feminines, masculines. You deveiled yourself. You had to use your hidden skills, connect to yourself, because I am, and I'm growing, and the way you're acting, and you're moving with love. So you move with love because that was that hot girl vibes. And you know when a hot girl has got love in her heart, you're going to move with that passion, that joy. You're not going to take no crap off nobody. You're steadfast, you're organized, you're listening steadfast to the spirit within inside of you. That's you're getting interconnected to enable to be able to grow, because people are trying to make you slow out here. Casting them out and down with effective words. So you're able to cast them down and out with effective words. Because someone who is irrelevant against that light, they know not the way. So you let them know. You just don't know the way. You're just a bitter bitch. You're not a better bitch. You didn't get on that path. You didn't listen to that spirit within inside of you. And they will see you. And they're seeing that and distinguishing its face, who you are, that all-knowing, that one. You are that light. Because you're driving that power, and it's away from any sunbeams in that eyes. When certain people trying to project towards you, you got that blue eyes, all clarity, all knowing, that introspection, inner standing, higher awareness, spiritually connected to the divine, about those family members, friends, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. I was placed with a soul of God within me. So you was placed with that soul of God's within inside of you. God of love, joy, peace, hope, prosperity. You was able to grow while people are slow. You compass feelings and emotions because you've seen two-faced family members and friends, and that was enabled you to grow. You had to get in that two-face so you could have compassion, because I am and you feel, so you was able to feel, and that was you, that spirit within inside of you, looking back at those emotions to the stories. That's when you endured and you were seeking that truth within inside of you, because you will see the results. So you seen and you feel, you seen those results. That's when you balance and you're spiritually balanced. You're able to nurture yourself. That's when you're looking at your soul sacral and you're connected, nurturing, honoring your feelings, those thoughts, you're flowing. That's you being stable, you're being practical, you're grounding yourself. You know, you've got to be relying on your spirit within inside of you to listen to those true words, because that's what's programming those thoughts. Taurus energy, for you to possess that wisdom and that knowledge, for you to be able to know better, to be able to do better. Don't let no one tell you you ain't special. So you want sitting there waiting for nobody to tell you special. Don't let no one tell you special, guys. Even when you're running and you're lost in your soul and you're trying to find yourself and you don't even know which direction you want to go into. You see people running in, running out, then they hear something, it touches that spirit, then they don't know what to do with themselves because they're not connecting to that oneness within inside of them. They're always hiding, portraying to be something else. But you've seen, you had to split face. So you had to be that two-face. You had to be in the spiritual world. You had to be in the physical world. Because that was that heartbeat rush. Now, these divine feminines and masculines, they're having that high awakening. They're consciously awakening now. Two-face, that's connecting that conscious and the subconscious. Higher clarity in regards to who you are. Their hearts rushing faster and wanting you dripping like a shower running. So all of a sudden, they're wanting you dripping like a shower running because they're manifesting you now. They've got wild thoughts. Wild, wild thoughts. Wild, wild thoughts. Because when I view it, I get his wild thoughts. And now they're getting wild thoughts. Every time they think about you, these divine feminines, masculines, they're getting these wild thoughts now because they're seeing about the choices that they made. They want steadfast. They was out in that charming. They can see you're that one with the vibes. They was out there love bombing and having people love bombing them. Family, friends, who they were socializing, partying with. And now they're in that withdrawal because now they're thinking, getting into their mind, listening to their intuitions. That's that inner spirit within inside of them. The truth stings, that's that heart, those emotions, because you chose yourself. You weren't sitting down waiting for nobody. You knew time didn't wait for nobody. When these masculines was gambling you, their mindset, what they was possessing, actual energies, childlike spirit, gambling, trying to possess, and when they was creating families, putting themselves on karmic cycles, tower moments was taking place because the Most High, it was a divine intervention. They didn't realize who you were because they was lost. And that's that lost spark. You know, when you lose that for love, joy, peace, prosperity, that stability, your foundations, that's where you nurture. You're not unable to nurture yourself. You're not caring because that two-face, it splits those emotions. No structures, no firm foundations, no comfort. Then you start feeling, because of all those habits, your insecurities start kicking into place. And it stems way, 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 way back because you manifested karma and all of those illusions for the confusions, and it's what your soul was creating an expression, and the energy has shifted. Excitement fades quietly. Something feels different now. So now they're having all that, after all that party, after all the socializing, now they're connecting back to their emotions. After all certain people, they see that you chose yourself. Now they're looking back towards their emotions and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm using my intuitions, I'm connecting to my heart, because that heart's rushing. They can see it was a shower. They want to come and touch you like a shower running, because take responsibility, they wasn't able to. The universe pushes back. So the universe divinely intervened, because you can say less. They say that you have to say less. The universe pushed these divine feminines and masculine back. Now they want to come back to you running like a shower because they're thinking about you extra, physically, emotionally, mentally. Trust your vision. 3, now they're in the mind, thoughts, feelings. Now they're trusting that vision because they're seeing about these people as being creative, the family members and friends, chat shit. Now they're connecting to that feminine energy, saying, oh my gosh, that's my heart, my emotions, I'm in my mind thinking. They maybe want to be able to come and express this towards you. Because they're visioning you in the shower. They could be running now, feeling like a shower of emotions, because that's that persistence. And they're gaining perspective, and it's valid. You see things clearly beneath the noise. Trust what the observance is. So in that stillness, they're getting in that higher clarity, connecting to their hearts, and they're like, not this again, this hot girl vibes. You have to say, not this again, not this hot girl vibes, that drama. And it's that same drama, it returns. You're tired because it's familiar. That same karmic cycle when you're encompassing. Now you're having this tower moment because they seen they was in that rush, picking and picking till you pick shit, and they wasn't visually, spiritually, mentally, emotionally looking because they was running blinded, and they lost their spark within their heart because they was like charming other people. They weren't choosing their self. They should have been choosing their self. There's emotions gaining that higher clarity. Now that all of a sudden looking back, because they're choosing their self, they see you choosing yourself, and she can't have that complete trust that you told her about herself. So these family members and friends who you told about their self, aunt, mom, sister, brother, it could have been the masculine in that bitch-like spirit. You told them about their self, how they was in that childlike spirit, they was lost in the soul, 176. Keep tapping the screen, guys, because I work with numbers. Astrology, sociology, it's numbers. So where they was lost because of their actions, they was aggressive in their ego, indecisive, not unable to be able to move, make that right choices. When they was traveling in certain communities, places, they was like idealistic, driven through jealousy, money. They was trying to be able to possess extra energies, partners, mighty ones of Amorites, polyphasic ones who worship nature, geography, sky, moon, other gods, deities. They didn't realize you was of the all gods. You had that all knowing. They told you I was connected to the Most High. They told you the Most High bestowed gifts on the people. Guys, what gifts did you not get? Because they told you, those who got eyes to see will see. When you fall and you're connecting with Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, you're in that Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, and you're in that Leo energy. So you're steadfast, you're organized, you're protecting yourself, you're stable, you're growing. Or 5 of your asses, are you procrastinating? Because you've been eating, yeah, you're procrastinating because something you don't want to connect to your heart. Why? Because you hear words of wisdom and it frightens your life out of your soul. And then you don't got compassion for yourself because you was a bitter bitch. You need to get a better bitch. Maybe you need to forgive certain people. Maybe you need to forgive yourself because you lack confidence, lack self-esteem, holding on to certain things from the past. You need to let it go, grow, be a better bitch. Don't procrastinate. Because when you're looking at the religions, it's ancient Semitic speaking. You're looking at the Akkadianites, you're looking at Hebrews, Hammonites, Canaanites, Amorites, and the Azarites. Look up who they were, what energy was they holding. Because remember, it was 12 disciples. There's 3 asses in it. Are you being judgmental? Or are you gaining higher clarity or wisdom? Are you standing in that high priestess energy? Or are you just behind there just to gain a bit of knowledge and be a bit of bitch and run back to somebody else and gain some more knowledge? Take it as it resonates, because energy don't lie, people do. That's why I say tap the screen, work with numbers. The Most High God works with numbers. There's parables in those numbers. Black, white, duality, balance, blend it, integration in these energies. That's when you got the masculine energy and that feminine energy. That's when you're looking, I am and I feel. The sun, the moon, illusions, confusions, your attitude and your approach towards life. Are you growing or are you being a stubborn bitch? Are you trying to be controlling of other people's thoughts, minds, and feelings? Because you're wanting authority, like the government. Them narcissistic energy people, karmic energy, family members, friends want to control you. Why? Because they've got lack compassion in their heart. They're holding on to their old bitter ways. And it's rooted inside of them, stems from the ancestral lineage. Why? Because their mum was a bit of a bitch. Their dad was a psychotic. They transcended, they'd let go, they didn't hold on. You had to let go, sorry. They weren't holding on to certain shit. They didn't know how to let go. Those are these friends, these family members you have these contracts with, and you start communicating, having this chatty shit because it's deep. They're the most private parts of your life. And that's rooted through the ancestral lineage. And that's that karma and your subconscious foundation, the treasure box, the chest. We all know eternity, it's your heart, guys. Prepare to lose your mind in a good way. So you had to get your spark back. You had to prepare to lose your mind in a good way. Connect to your heart. Have compassion for oneself. Enable that oneself to be able to grow. Let go of any heartache, hurt and pain, things that don't serve you. You have to have that vision. That was you connecting to the spirit. Now these divine feminines and masculines, they've gone through a karmic cycle. They've had to go because they were inherited sin and there's consequences to these actions. When they was running after golden calves, chasing after money, trying to possess, inheritances, taxes, loans, controlling over people, they wasn't not preventing that cause. They put themselves in a situation because it wasn't listening. They was being indecisive because it wasn't listening to that higher awareness. Now they're having that warning. Having a fit. Leave them, oh my gosh, for a bit. Let them breathe. So they could have said, you was having a fit. You seen the vision. Now they're having the fit. Leave them. Let them breathe. 5, 6, 9. Because they need to grow. They're still having stress and conflict in the mind because of the ego. And they need to drop that ego. They need to smell that shit. 6. Get that higher clarity. 9. Higher awareness that was full of shit. And now they need to digest and regest. Connect back to their emotions, their heart. Get steadfast, organized. Look at your structures, your firm foundation as to why, where, what, and when. Because you could be all ignoring them now because they're having this fit, so you got to ignore them. You could add a fit on them because they didn't want to listen. And who don't fit here must have to feel because of those choices. Or because they was having romantic love affairs. You chose yourself. They was having an ex-fix. And now they're having this ex-fix. They're still in their mind for the secret love and passion over loyalty. They may be releasing this now because I lost that spark. And they're saying, prepare to lose your mind in a good way. So now they may be losing their mind, like triangle, that love triangle, because now you have to look back towards yourself. And when you can't love yourself, you're unbothered. You release yourself from that love triangle when people try to put you in a love triangle with a Renken facing out of water self. Like they was God's gift. Trying to flip and conjure up with different spirits and different energies, like you're not going to be able to feel that. You have to release these people. You have to be unbothered. They're two-faced. They may be acting like they're unbothered because that's that vision. They wasn't bothered about the vision when people was blocking your ass, projecting these things towards you. Because Job, we started with someone who was a rebel against the light. They was rebelling against you, having extra energy. They was in that childlike spirit. They could have started a family and created. Now they're having that karmic cycle. They may have to seek higher wisdom. They may need to go court. They may be in spiritual court. They maybe feel like they're imprisoned within their mind because they're having a child. Because they're having a child. Maybe because they're having a child. And they're involved. So they've got child services involved. children in danger, family being reported because there's arguments, neglect, stress, eye clarity about money, and who wants to try to possess what. And that's hearts rushing back because it's repeating, repeating because of these habits. Or because of these illusions, what those holding on to, conflict, stress, anxiety. You know, when you inherit sin, there's consequences because this happiness hater, it was copying you. Judgment's going to take place. It's got to go court, spiritual court. Now people's crying over you. Why? Because may come in offering. Oh my gosh. Now they needing your help. They're wanting some new dedicate. They are wanting that time. They're learning now. They want to be able to reach out after being in the cold. This could be a life of serving acts, even looking at generosity to be able to keep smiling in that good book. Are you I tell them, me name in the good book. Hey you, take a good look. Your blood clot name in the good book. Now they're all of a sudden they're looking back towards you because they can say after having all these love affairs, they wanted to see you're not bothered. They was cop blocking people. People tried to cause you stress like you was running back of them. They wanted you to be that karmic energy where you're shouting and you're cussing and you're going off your head. You just left them to it. You said, blow that, I ain't having that bullet. They're now looking for that support and they may need to offer you. They're fearing you. They need your help. They can see they want your companionship, and that's showing that appreciation. It's showing that simple form of gratitude even towards you, as it was their nature. They inherited evil thoughts and actions taken from a young age. Told you it's them from young. And it had to be the need for divine intervention. I told you had divine intervention for that great both parties, and that's doing good, bad, it's duality, and that's looking at what goes around comes right back around. Yeah, my baby. Now all of these divine feminines, masculines, they're having stress because you really brought her here. Yeah, so they could be bringing you somewhere. They may have brought somebody else somewhere where you was. You chose to do yourself. How did you sleep last night? So you could be saying, how did you sleep last night? Unbothered. You was fine. Krishna, divine love, self-service. That's that path to spiritual liberation. That's when you go in Pluto, you have to transform. You don't hate because they was procrastinating. You evolved. Vishnu, you looked at that supreme God of love and compassion because that's that tenderness. And that's that protection, empathy, and social justice. So they be looking for social justice now for this child. They may be looking for social justice for themselves, for like a neglected child, like they got abuse. You could be seeing social justice for this child. They could be needing wisdom because you blocked and you wasn't able to protect because of your loyalty. That's Vedic. Aries, Pisces, different transitions. That's the systems, that's interpretive. Stars, that's looking at the Western interpretation because they was in that ego. It's that high ego, lostness. People was high ego, lostness. Blocking you, trying to do what unaliving. Now they need to have that unaliving because that's that transformation when you're in Scorpio. It's no longer matters. Don't explain. It's done. So it no longer matters. You don't even explain. They may not want to explain about these because you judge certain BULs and you're just realizing helping others ascend, connecting, turning feelings, helping to help you. So you was helping people to help yourself because it enabled you to grow. Because you was a better bitch, you want a better bitch. People was unaliving themselves because they needed to transform. They're going to tell you about one accident. So you're going to see, because you were just showing that appreciation. Now they want to show you appreciation after they had a love affair. They lied, they cheated on you. They was on a karmic cycle. Their mindset was spiritually blocked and blind. They inherited sin. Now they're looking back to the mystery of the story. All of a sudden, they're connecting to their emotions, listening to the spirit within inside. And now they're thinking about you. So they may want to come back and say sorry after this affair. They're burying this fear now. They're dying, that putting that affair, what they've had. They're putting that away because they're having stress in their mind. May want to come and travel to you and tell you, buried the bitch. She won't say shit. She just caused me stress and conflict. Look, because she was doing mind controls. So the bitch just caused them stress and conflict. All up in the mind, psychological, holding on, illusions, confusions, things that was secret, things that was hidden. That's like, you know, for possessions, trying to control them with a child. Money. But don't worry, you've got dodge bullets. Look, for a child. Controlled for a child. Told you. Because I was in a childlike spirit. Peter Pan. external energies. Now you're going to gain eye clarity. That child might not be theirs. So they can see that child want theirs. There was in a stressful energy. Now they can see this feminine light. She cheated. She even slept with their friend. She was a friend of mine. Patience is required. Things soon come. Allow things to come this year. So you're going to hear soon. They may have a child this year that might be controlling them still. You never know. Sticking to them. Missing. Oh, so certain things are missing. Information, evidence, missing a letter. They may be finding they may need a letter because they're in their mind having a stress because it's a fear. They might evidence information that's like, it could even be like DNA, celebrity, ego. Oh, so they could have been out partying, socializing, 3, 5, all up in their egos, like social awareness of them. They could do arts, music. This came out early in the last reading. I think it all 2 of them today. Ego, surveillance. People are getting watched out here in these streets. They could have been watched because they was in the ego, socialing, out partying. They wasn't looking at the signs. They didn't read the signs. They didn't see. They was trying to get certain people to sign this occult. Family, because the institution lies within their mind. Fire signs, female. That female energy was an occultist, gripping onto this masculine. Child services, they was missing them. Surveillance, some information, they missed information. Certain things that was hidden. There's occultists, because the mind, because they're illusions. You know, when you go to church, you act like you're nice and you're grounded, but you're lying because they was jealous. They could have been jealous of you, that female. They're surveying you, watching you, social awareness of you. Because the way how you're spiritual, you're emotionally, mentally stable. They tried to bury you, block you out. Couple. This could have been a couple doing it. A jealous couple. This female, she was working with other people. Inside. So you're going to gain the information. They tried to keep it inside. Like it was an inside job. People are going to be having this awareness because people will be flying and moving away because they were jealous of you. You've seen the actions may be coming about this caregiver. A gift. So they got some GRG possessions. They may want to give you a gift, but you just be careful about that gift because there'll be some illusions for GRGs, habits, confusions, illusions, maybe about property, for possessions, for home, to money, for mountains. You may like the confusions. There's some lies. Certain people say spells, holding on, drugs, possessions, spell work, a couple trying to control a caregiver, like, you know, you providing service to, because they was that kind of energy, causing illusions, confusions for fear. Oh, wow, you could see that, or that. Oh, they're going to say it was that. On the road. Oh, wow. These cards are a bit deep, you know, guys. Sometimes you don't want to say the words, because tutus, you get flagged and bagged. Certain people are getting flagged and bagged because of the actions that they was taking, or because of their bad habits, causing these illusions and confusions, trying to block people, stop people, because they're having these regrets. They didn't know how to connect to their mind and their emotions. Put them on the wrong ones, Anna. Oh no, was right. So you're going to see they was doing these scarcity tactics, secrets. You're going to find certain things that was in the unknown. Let's just take these. It says, remember, when they was having failure and had different tests, little but of help. They're looking now because that's like not even like 40 students. The celebrity, they could be saying, surveying you, and they didn't have little else, or watching you, social aware. Keep back kids from being attacked. They've been at a disadvantage. So these social services could be keeping these kids because they could be an attack. They've been at a disadvantage. They could be surveying now because they're in regret from this caregiver or this couple. Surrounded by police, copper cars. So they could be surrounded by police now. Cars. Yep, pimp slapped with that truth. So yep, they got pimp slapped with that truth. surveilled. They're getting buried. I want to forget this trip, letters, photos. Okay, so they want to forget this trip, letters, photos, missing. They want to forget those. My dad told me you got cancer colon. So they're in regret. They could be a caregiver of the dad's cancer colon. They be needing care. Think it will be good to go across country and learn what life is about. So they maybe want to be able to travel cross country in that boat. You may want to go see and learn what life's about. Why do you say birds and the bees? Have you even ever seen a bird fuck a bee? Have you seen a bird fuck a bee, guys? So why do they say the birds and the bees? And the bird's too big because they're pushing more than that on you. That's what they're doing. Take this all as it resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because let's see when this time, because you can see this time, Oracle. This could have been the past, the future, things, but you've had to encompass emotions to get on that rightful path. That's when you've gone through that karmic cycle. You're looking at the mysteries. You start using your intuitions. You was being unrealistic. These couples, they was missing. They could be missing this female information because there was cock blocking about this child services. You're going to see with this child and people are being surveilled. This couple could be surveying. Take this all as it resonates because they was pushing GRGS. They may want to be able to come and give you a gift. It may have been wrapped up as a gift. You're going to see this surveillance. People was moving because they was jealous, hidden about this gift coming towards you. They may have seen you as a celebrity. They may have thought they wanted to be a celebrity. All because they was doing mind control. May 5. Leo. May. Taurus. May 5, because now they're getting that higher clarity. They was in their ego, stress, conflict, stability. Then you have to gain that passion, look at yourself, transform, change, higher awareness, higher wisdom. Daniel, Lion's Den, strength, wheel of fortune, change, destiny, end that cycle. Devil energies, let go. Fear, that's when you have to find that balance within yourself. That's when you have to have that tower moment. Judgment takes place because it's real revelations about certain people's actions. Love, balance. They maybe want to be able to come towards you because I am now feeling like they want to travel towards you. Take it all as it resonates. Told you. Because when you let go, stop waiting. So when you let go, those emotions are going to stop waiting. They may travel today. So you may need to let go today because it's that mountains of feelings, of emotions that block you and stop you and restrict you from that path to go forward. So you may need to be able to look now. They maybe want to get, there I am, they're traveling, they're thinking about traveling. T. Oh look, Z's there, I don't know how that drops. Let's put that back. If it comes out, it comes out. T could be significant, first name, last name. It did come out, look, Z. They could be T's in now. Tubs. Oh gosh, the back side. Let me just get these guys. This just had to do. So we've got G, M, V, BMV, KMG, KBV. There we go. I'm coming back, baby. Alright, so this drops. JSM. Oh, let's move that there. One more. Too many. Let's take the top one and the bottom one. So we've got T, B, Z, G. They could be feeling bad in their knees. They may want to come and get saved. They may feel safe by you. They was around a Jezebel. Take it all as it resonates. They might want to come back begging, begging, baby. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, baby, baby. Get men. Steve. Steph. Jeff. They could have been on meth. Take it all as it resonates. They might need to go to the vet. They was placing bets. You know about Ken and Sev. Take it all as it resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress.